Hey, welcome to a new video. Did you know that there are billions of pet owners worldwide? That's right. From cuddly cats to playful dogs and everything in between, pets have become beloved members of households all around the world. But did you know that there's also pets that are more unique and different than others? Are you new to this channel? Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And before we start, also like the video. Iris and Abyss are two breathtaking sisters who are cats and have captured hearts all around the world. The reason for their fame is heterochromia, where their eyes have different colors, one blue and the other yellow. This condition is rare in both cats and humans, making Iris and Abyss truly unique. One of the reasons people are fascinated by them is because cats with heterochromia are a rare phenomenon. What's even rarer is the fact they are also sisters. It's like winning the lottery for cat lovers to come across two cats that have such a rare genetic feature. Cats, like humans and other mammals, can have different colored eyes. This occurs when there's an uneven distribution of melanin in the iris. Melanin is the pigment that gives color to our skin, hair, and eyes. When there's a decrease or increase in melanin, it can lead to different eye colors. I can already see you thinking, this must just be a photoshopped picture of a dog, right? No. The dog breed of this dog is a Shih Tzu, and this particular dog's name is Yogi. As you can see, he's very unique. But how is it that this dog has a human-like face? Unfortunately, we don't know. His owner, Chantel Desjardins, didn't want to go viral when she uploaded a photo of her two dogs, Yogi and Daria. One dog looks cute, while the other has a human-like face. Some people in the comments said the dog looked like celebrities like Nicolas Cage, Paul Rudd, or Ed Sheeran. Which celebrity do you see in the dog's face? According to experts, a snake with two heads is extremely rare. It occurs in only 1 out of 10,000 births, and only a few survive. Having two heads is a genetic abnormality that can occur during the embryonic development of the animal. This happens when the embryo splits but doesn't fully separate, resulting in two heads, two hearts, and sometimes two separate digestive systems. It's more common in reptiles than you might think, but it's still quite rare. It's also important to note that animals with two heads have a reduced chance of surviving in the wild, because they are more vulnerable to predators. In reptiles, two-headed creatures often struggle with movement and hunting, because their two heads can give conflicting signals. In terms of behavior, two-headed snakes are like any other snakes. They can compete for food, and in some cases, one head can dominate the other. However, there's also two-headed snakes that can develop a cooperative relationship where both heads work together to capture prey. In the case of this snake, they've learned to eat together. When David bought a black kitten in 1997, he never imagined that they would both become internet sensations 7 years later. The cat's name was Morley. He was 7 years old, and suddenly the color of his fur began to change. Over time, his fur began to turn white, and at first they thought the cat had had a stroke. But eventually, it turned out that he was suffering from vitiligo. This is already tremendously rare among humans, but even more rare among cats. The lack of melanin causes the white patches on the skin. In Morley's case, it gave him the nickname Scrappy the cat. The birth of a mutated hairless black goat in Turkey in April 22 was quite shocking to many villagers. The condition of the goat is a rare genetic abnormality that affects skin pigmentation and hair growth. What makes this mutation so unique is that it's rare to see goats with hair loss and black skin. Hairlessness is usually not harmful to goats. However, they do require less grooming, and their meat is considered a delicacy in some cultures. Although hairlessness is not necessarily threatening to the goat's health, the dark skin does make it more vulnerable to insect bites and sunburn. The owner of the goat has taken special precautions to protect the animal's skin. In some cultures, hairless goats are considered valuable due to their unique appearance and are kept as pets. They can also be useful in scientific research to study genetic mutations. What we're about to show you are the two smallest cats ever born in history. The average domestic cat is about 24 to 25 centimeters tall, but Pixel Munchkin never grew more than 13 centimeters. That means Pixel is smaller than a liter milk bottle. This also means that the cat owner must always be careful of stepping on the small cat. But there's a cat that was even smaller. This Himalayan Persian cat named Tinkertoy was only 7 centimeters tall. The owners, Katrin and Scott, couldn't believe it when they realized their kitty wasn't growing any further. Who doesn't love little puppies? But when you see the following puppy, you will be completely amazed. Meet Miracle Millie, a female chihuahua who has broken all kinds of records. This dog is so small, it can fit in a coffee cup. She was born in December of 2011, and she weighed less than 1 pound, or half a kilogram at birth. Her incredibly unique and small size made life a challenge. Her mouth was actually too small to be fed by her mother, so her owner, Vanessa Semler, had to drip milk into her mouth every 2 hours. The little dog eventually transitioned from sleeping in a doll bed to sleeping in a baby's crib. Today, she's only 3.8 inches, or 9.65 centimeters tall. If you think this is one of the most unique dogs you've ever seen, you're right. Ozawaks are a breed of sighthounds, related to greyhounds and whippets, known for their slender build and agility. They were originally bred in Africa as hunting dogs and can run at high speeds for extended periods. Their long, thin necks are characteristic of the breed and play a crucial role in their hunting abilities. Azawaks use their long necks to spot prey from a distance and track their movements. Their necks are flexible and can stretch, allowing them to keep their prey in sight for a prolonged time. However, they aren't known for giraffe-like necks, but Brody's long neck is longer than usual, although it is actually a feature of the Azawak breed. Azawaks typically have a slender body with long legs and a narrow waist, making their long neck stand out. Brody's neck appears longer though, due to his thinner physique, making it more prominent. In mythology, there's a creature called Pantherine, who is usually a winged lion. Apparently, this also exists in real life. It's just not a lion, but a cat. This cat was born in the southwestern Chinese city of Chongqing, and has the same unique characteristics as the mythical lion. When the cat was about a year old, its owner was shocked to see wings growing out of its back. However, the cat cannot fly away. They are just a pair of hairy wings. Rabbits have an arsenal of tools for survival. 28 teeth, including 4 large incisors for chewing, and they are one of the fastest animals in the animal kingdom. Additionally, rabbits have very good and sharp hearing. The next rabbit, named Till, was unfortunately born without ears in a small village in Germany in 2012. It was a rare case of genetic mutation that resulted in the loss of his external ear structure. Till's owner, a local resident, discovered him in the nest and took him into his own care. According to experts, a protein deficiency or malfunction led to the rabbit's ear being deformed. The protein is responsible for ear development in rabbits and other animals. Although the absence of ears didn't affect Till's overall health, it had a significant impact on his life. Rabbits use their ears to hear predators, communicate with other rabbits, and regulate their body temperature. Without ears, Till was more vulnerable to predators and had difficulty communicating with other rabbits. The next dog, named Duncan Lou, was named after Cindy Lou, a Christmas character from the movie How the Grinch Stole Christmas. The dog captured millions of hearts with his determination, sweet smile, and unique appearance. He's a boxer dog breed and was born with his hind legs attached to each other. When he was adopted, he was 3 months old, and the family has taken good care of him ever since. Fortunately, he did survive at birth because he also had autoimmune problems. The dog was even thrown out of the car once. But this story serves as an inspiration. The dog did not give up and learned to walk and could even run fast with only 2 legs. How clever is that? This 2-legged cat is named Duck, and according to his owner, it's said to be incredibly cute. When they decided to adopt the cat, they felt sorry for the fact that she had lost her front legs. As a result, over the course of her life, not only did she have to learn how to walk, but she also had to walk on 2 hind legs, which means she more or less walks like a dinosaur. Duck is described as the happiest cat in the world. It's even said that she's as fast and playful as any other cat. A piglet recently born on a farm in northern Argentina has garnered worldwide attention. The pig has 2 fully formed snouts, each with its own mouth and tongue. Although this condition is extremely rare in pigs, it's not unheard of, and similar cases have been reported in other animals, such as dogs and cats. This condition is known as polycephaly, which is a form of conjoined twins. In most cases, they don't survive. but in some rare cases, they do, albeit with severe health issues. Polycephaly is the result of an embryonic abnormality that causes an embryo to incompletely split. Instead of forming two separate individuals, the embryos remain partially connected and developed into a single being with multiple body parts. Despite its rarity, the piglet appears to be healthy and is being cared for by its owners. His condition may present some challenges in life, but it's not necessarily a death sentence. Yoda is not only an iconic Star Wars character, it's also a cat with 4 ears. A couple named Valerie and Ted Rock found the cat in a cage somewhere in Chicago in 2006, and they decided to adopt him. They soon realized that he had a unique feature, which was 2 extra ears. The strange thing is that the 2 extra ears are not attached to his skull. Despite this, Yoda is a normal cat. It's even said that he has an intense obsession for bread. When Blondie the parrot stands among the other birds, he certainly stands out. He looks completely different from his siblings, and he has lost all of his feathers and can't fly. Blondie's story gained international attention when a photo of him went viral on social media. Although featherless, Blondie has become a beloved ambassador for bird conservation efforts in Venezuela and beyond. The dwarf parrot had piscine beak and feather disease. This is a viral infection that affects parrots and other birds in the parrot family. The virus damages the feathers, beak, and immune system of the bird, causing them to fall out, and have an abnormal shape or have reduced immunity. There's no cure for this disease, but it can be managed with proper care and support. Due to the lack of feathers, Blondie unfortunately cannot fly. The absence of feathers makes his skin more vulnerable, and it's important to keep him safe and comfortable. Let's hope that Blondie the parrot is doing well today. Meet Quasimoto, a purebred German Shepherd. The dog was named after the character of the Hunchback of Notre Dame, and he suffers from an extremely rare condition called short spinal syndrome. This is a genetic disorder which is extremely rare. When a dog has this, it means that it has a short torso and curved back, hence the comparison to the character Quasimoto. This condition is said to affect the ribcage, making it look like the dog has no neck. He also cannot turn his head, but other than that, he just goes about his daily business like a normal, happy dog. He loves to be petted and cuddled, and he would also know exactly how to fit into someone's lap. Maybe cats have 9 lives, but not all cats have more than 4 legs. One cat in particular, named Paulie, has no less than 6 legs. A veterinary clinic was called in to care for him when he started having trouble walking. Doctors think Paulie's extra leg came from a kitten that didn't make it in the mother cat's womb. But Paulie's not the only multi-legged cat in the world. In 2001, a cat was born that had 8 legs. Unfortunately, the kitten did not survive long. But besides having 8 legs, this octopussy also had 4 ears and 2 tails. The Yol Cow is a breed native to Africa, specifically Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, and parts of the Democratic Republic of Congo. They are known for their long curved white horns and are highly valued in some African cultures as a symbol of status and wealth. However, it's not common for cows to have 3 horns as seen in this video. Horns in cows serve multiple functions, such as communication, territorial defense, and protection against predators. Additionally, the horns can help regulate body temperature by dissipating heat through the blood vessels in the horns. In the case of Yol cows, their horns are highly valued and often used in cultural ceremonies, such as weddings and other important events. Furthermore, the size and shape of the horns can play a significant role in breeding programs. However, a cow born with not just 2, but 3 horns is an extremely rare phenomenon. Monty is probably the only cat of his kind. He suffers from a super rare chromosomal disorder that caused him to be born without a bone in his nose. Believe it or not, this condition does not affect his quality of life at all. He's an adorable and affectionate cat who loves to be carried around and sleep on people's laps. His chromosomal abnormality only causes him to sneeze more often than a normal cat, but he can still breathe normally. His owners hope that Monty will one day act as a global ambassador for other cats who don't look perfect. Toby, the Australian Shepherd dog, is also a very special dog because he has not 1, but 2 noses. He was found by an animal rescue group wandering the streets of Fresno, California. His story was published, and just before the group was about to put him to sleep, thinking he wouldn't survive, animal friend Todd Ray took him in. Todd Ray is not just any dog owner. He holds the Guinness World Record for having the largest collection of two-headed animals that he's adopted. When he saw that Toby had two noses, he decided to adopt him immediately. Veterinarians thought Toby would have problems, but it was eventually confirmed that he was in perfect health. The dog was even said to possess an unusual powerful sense of smell, even more than the average dog. It is thought that he can smell 10,000 to 100,000 times better than any human. One of his skills is retrieving a ball where no one else can see it.
Jesus Chirinos Palenzuela is a man who lives in a small town and eagerly awaited the arrival of his female dog's sixth litter. Everything seemed normal until he noticed something unusual about one of the newborn puppies. Upon careful examination, he was shocked to discover the puppy had no head and only 3 legs. Genetic mutations in dogs are extremely unique. They can occur naturally and randomly during DNA replication or through breeding. While many mutations have no effect on the animal, some can have significant consequences for both their appearance and health. In the case of other dogs like this one, mutations can result in being born with 3 legs and without a head. Despite the heart-wrenching circumstances, Jesus remained fascinated by this unique creature. While the puppy was still alive, it displayed a remarkable resilience, if only for a few fleeting moments before succumbing to its vulnerable condition. Fortunately, the other puppies in the litter were all healthy.
Clayed is a Cyclops cat with only one eye who was born in 2012. If you don't know what a Cyclops is a mythical creature in Greek mythology that has only one eye. When the kitten was born, both of his owners and the doctor were very shocked. The reason they were at the vet in the first place was because his mother had problems giving birth. Clayed came second out of the litter and surprised everyone in the operating room. Not only was he born with only one eye, but he also had no nose. Unfortunately, he did not survive long.
You've probably heard of grasshoppers, but have you ever heard of pink grasshoppers? Pink grasshoppers, also known as erythristic grasshoppers, are a rare variation of the common green grasshoppers. As the name suggests, these grasshoppers have a striking pink or reddish coloration due to a genetic mutation called erythrism. Erythrism causes an excess production of red pigments in an animal. In the case of pink grasshoppers, this mutation affects their exoskeleton, turning it pink instead of green. Contrary to the popular belief, pink grasshoppers are not the result of chemical pollution or exposure to radiation. They are simply a natural genetic variation. Although pink grasshoppers look different from their green counterparts, they are not treated differently by other grasshoppers. In fact, their unusual coloration can help them blend in with the brightly colored flowers and plants, providing camouflage and protection against predators. They're also incredibly rare, with less than 1 in 5,000 grasshoppers exhibiting this unique coloring. In some cultures, it's believed that pink grasshoppers bring luck or prosperity, and sighting them is considered a positive omen.
A German Shepherd named Sandy was born in Greece with an unusual deformity that no one had ever seen before. This is because Sandy's front legs are unusually bent, so much so that he had to walk on his chest at the beginning. In addition, he's also very visually impaired. It seemed that there was not much hope for the poor dog, until the story about the dog went viral. He was sent to the English city of Cambridge after money was raised for him and was taken into an animal shelter. A local pet store even donated him a new bed and toys. Sandy received all the love, attention, and medical care he needed and deserved. After 2 surgeries and various forms of physical therapy, he was able to live a normal life.
Meet Duo, a remarkable cat with a rare condition called craniofacial duplication. This means that she was born with 2 functioning noses, 2 mouths that eat independently, and 3 eyes. Unlike most cats with this condition, who only live a few days, Duo has defied the odds and is now 4 months old, thanks to the dedicated care of her owner, Ralph Tran. Ralph is a veterinarian from California and adopted Duo during a move from New York. When a friend told him about a kitten with this condition, he offered to take care of her. However, Duo's not the only cat with 2 heads. The most famous cat with 2 faces is Louie. This cat lived in Massachusetts and was recognized as the longest-living Giannis cat by the Guinness Book of World Records in 2012. Despite being born with two faces, Frank and Louie lived a full and fulfilling life for 15 years before passing away.
If you ever had a cat on your lap, you know how loud the purring of the cats can be. But imagine that in high gear. The record for the loudest purring cat in the world goes to a cat named Merlin, owned by Tracy Westwood, who lives in Torquay, England. The average domestic cat purrs around 25 decibels. The 13-year-old Merlin did so at a whopping 67.8 decibels, even ranking him in the Guinness World Records. Just to give you a comparison, the sound is as loud as a dishwasher. His owner says that's why she has to turn up the TV when she watches movies.
Snakes are already creepy creatures to most people, but what about a snake with one leg? However, don't worry, it won't suddenly stand up and chase after you. The discovery of a snake with a claw-like leg in China in 2009 made headlines worldwide. The woman who found it claimed she found it on the wall of her bedroom. The creature had a leg-like protrusion with claws and appeared otherwise healthy and normal. Scientists believe that the rare mutation that caused the snake to develop a claw-like leg is likely due to a genetic abnormality. While mutations can occur naturally, they can also be caused by environmental factors, such as exposure to chemicals. Despite their unusual appearance, this snake was able to move and even hunt like any other snake. It's not uncommon for snakes to be born with extra limbs or other deformities.
Venus the cat is half orange and half black in color, and with one yellow eye and one blue eye. This makes her very unique and fits no description of any other living cat. Scientists think that the black color was randomly activated in all of her cells on one side of her face. When she developed in the womb, the orange color met the other in the middle. Even her single blue eye is a mystery. Cats with blue eyes are usually of Siamese descent, and in fact, the majority have white fur. But this is not the case with Venus the cat.
Get ready to melt your heart. Meet Sniffles, also known as the dog without a nose. Sniffles was a stray dog from Puerto Rico who lost his nose after being attacked by a group of stray dogs. Despite his traumatic experience, Sniffles was adopted by a loving family in Florida. However, he faced ongoing challenges, such as running away and wandering the streets, which led to further difficulties for the furry companion. As you know, dogs are one of the most loving species, but when they have physical abnormalities, they can often face stigma from both humans and other dogs. According to the organization that rescued Sniffles, his missing nose doesn't appear to affect his ability to smell or breathe. Despite his unusual appearance, Sniffles is described as a friendly and affectionate dog who loves people and other dogs. While it may be challenging for Sniffles, he can continue to live a happy and healthy life thanks to the proper care and attention from his owners.
Meet the oldest cat that ever walked the earth, Cream Puff. Cream Puff was born on August 3, 1967, in Austin, Texas, USA. She lived to be a whopping 38 years and 3 days old. By comparison, the average cat lives only 12 to 14 years. Believe it or not, but it just so happens that her owner, Jake Perry, was also the owner of the previous holder of the record, oldest cat in the world. This cat was named Rex Allen and had lived to be 34 years and 2 months old.
In the city of Peru, Brazil, a woman named Rosangela decided to get a pet for her small apartment. She thought a mini pig would be the perfect choice, expecting it to stay small. Little did she know, her new piglet named Lalisa had other plans. Over the course of 3 years, Lalisa grew to an impressive weight of 550 pounds, or 250 kilograms, and a length of 10 feet, or 1 meter. Despite the initial expectation of a small pig, Rosangela embraced the unique development and showered the pig with love and care. Her daily routine involved living indoors, sharing a room with Rosangela and her husband. The pig loved napping and followed a set schedule of bathroom breaks, breakfast, showering, grazing, and rooting. Lalisa had a strong personality, persistently pursuing what she wanted and making her presence known. Despite her unexpected growth, Lalisa became a beloved member of the family and drew attention from the neighborhood. People, especially children, were fascinated by her size and often wanted to take photos with her. Lalisa also formed friendships with some dogs in the neighborhood, who would playfully tease her on occasion. Today, Lalisa remains an extraordinary pig, defying expectations and bringing happiness to those around her.
What do you think the odds are that your dog is born with 2 mouths, 2 noses, and 4 eyes? This case is very rare, and as far as I could find, this is the only dog that ever had 2 heads. The dog belongs to the Angal Ortiz family, who live in the city of Baga, Peru. They were shocked to see that their dog had given birth to 6 puppies. One of them looked completely different, as he seemed to have 2 heads. Vets thought he didn't have long to live, but miraculously, the puppy, who was actually a Siamese twin, was healthy. The family vowed to take excellent care of it and treat him just like the rest of the puppies.
It's said that an alligator is one of the least understood animals in the animal kingdom. However, an alligator named Trapjaw seems to be the opposite. He's lost the upper part of his jaw and a portion of his tongue, making it difficult for him to eat and survive in the wild. Alligators are known for their formidable jaws and sharp teeth, which they use to capture and kill prey. Losing such an essential part of their anatomy would normally make survival challenging. In this video, you can see him being fed by a caretaker named Pete. Alligators are reptiles that have existed for millions of years and are native to the southeastern United States and China. They are carnivorous and typically eat fish, turtles, and small mammals. However, captive alligators like Trapjaw are often fed ground meat, as it's easier for them to consume. Fortunately, he was rescued and is now cared for by wildlife professionals, as the alligator is no longer able to hunt alone and compete in the wild for food.
When cats are really relaxed or in a playful, crazy mood, some like to stick out their tongue. Normally, that's already a reason for a cute photo. But imagine a cat with a permanently protruding tongue. Lil Bub, as the cat is called, fits that description exactly. Owned by film producer Mike Brodavsky, she was born with dwarfism and a shortened jaw. Both have given her that iconic look, making her very popular on social media. Wendy the Whippet is a world-famous dog who became known as the strongest dog in the world. She was widely published in the media, including the New York Times, Today Show, and Inside Edition. Wendy has also been called the Arnold Schwarzenegger of dogs. She weighed 60 pounds or 27 kilograms and has thick muscles even around her neck. In fact, Wendy has a super rare genetic mutation which made her twice as heavy as an average Whippet dog. But in addition, she had average height and the characteristic narrow head. Her muscles, although, made her strong and famous, but kept her from running as fast as other dogs. She also could not turn easily. Sadly, today, Wendy is no longer among us.
A recent birth of a dog with 2 bodies and 8 legs on a remote island in the Pacific Ocean has amazed everyone. The dog named Spider Puppy is unique in many ways and raises questions about how such a phenomenon can occur. The condition of the dog is known as dicephalic parapagus, a rare congenital condition that results in the formation of an organism with 2 bodies and 1 head. While this occurs more commonly in cats, it's exceptionally rare in dogs. Experts estimate that only a few cases of this condition in dogs have been reported worldwide. Creating an animal with 2 bodies is a rare but possible phenomenon that usually occurs during embryonic development. It occurs due to abnormal splitting of developing embryos, leading to the formation of 2 animal bodies that are nearly genetically identical. The condition, however, is considered a medical mystery, but many veterinarians say that these animals can lead a relatively normal life if well cared for. They can grow, eat, and play like normal animals, although they may have some physical limitations that require special care. Unfortunately, this so-called spider puppy only survived a few days.
These are Frank and Louie, the world's longest-lived Giannis cats. Giannis cats are named after the Roman god Giannis, who usually has 2 faces. They are incredibly rare and usually live no longer than a day after birth. However, this was different with Frank and Louie. They shared 1 brain with each other, but they had 2 noses, 2 mouths, and a blind middle eye. The incredible thing is, the cat ended up living to be 15 years old.
Can't decide between a black cat and a white cat? How about having both? This is usually referred to as a chimera cat, where the kitten is born with 2 separate cells in the same body, each with its own genetic composition. In the case of Narnia, these cells formed on his head, creating the distinctive 2-colored appearance. With half of his face black and the other half gray, Narnia has captured the hearts of millions of people around the world. Even his eyes are rare. Blue eyes in cats are considered rare, especially in adult cats, However, they are more common in certain breeds such as Siamese and Balinese cats. Narnia has produced 2 kittens who have inherited his unique facial coloring. While not all Chimera cats like Narnia exhibit 2-colored fur, they are still rare and fascinating animals. They can be identified by a line down the middle of their face. The exact cause of this phenomenon in cats is not entirely clear, but experts believe it's the result of the fusion of 2 embryos in the womb. As such, it's considered a genetic abnormality and occurs very rarely in the cat population.
Atlas is not only the world's largest living dog, he's also the world's gentlest giant. He was once acquired from a breeder in Missouri, USA, and Atlas was the only dog in his litter that had feet too big to walk on. In the first part of his life, the Great Dane could barely take a few steps without falling. The situation worsened when he got older and bigger. When he was 6 years old, he weighed a whopping 225 pounds, or 102 kilograms. In addition, he was also intimidating at 40 inches, or 104 centimeters tall. The Cy family, Atlas's owners, often struggled to accommodate the giant dog. When they moved, they couldn't find a house with a hallway that Atlas could pass through. His collars also had to be custom-made. The vet usually has to come to him because it's too difficult to get him into the car. But the dog seems to be happy because he spends most of his time lazing around the house.
In February of 2022, a lamb with 5 legs was born at White House Farm in Morph, England. This condition is known as polymeleia, where an animal is born with more than the usual number of limbs. While polymeleia is a relatively rare condition, it's not entirely uncommon in animals. There have been reports of cows, horses, cats, and dogs being born with extra limbs throughout history. However, the occurrence in polymeleia in a lamb is still relatively rare. This English lamb was the first of its kind in 25 years. In some cases, polymeleia can cause significant health issues for the animal, such as difficulty in movement or walking, increased risk of injuries or infections, and other complications. However, in some cases, animals born with extra limbs are able to adapt and lead a relatively normal and happy life. As for the overall statistics, it's believed that lambs with 5 legs occur once in a million births.
You've now seen the world's longest-lived cat and the world's smallest cat. But what about the world's longest cat? This is a Maine Coon named Stewie, and the cat is the holder of the Guinness Book of World Records for his length. In 2010, he was measured at 123 centimeters from the tip of his nose to the end of his tail. Stewie eventually became a certified therapy animal that helped transport elderly in a senior center near its home.
The story of the birdfish that recently went viral is both intriguing and concerning. According to reports, this fish was caught by a fisherman in Guangzhou, southwestern China, and appeared to be about 1.6 feet or half a meter long. The fish was briefly filmed before being released back into the water, just long enough to show its unique head. Despite being called the birdfish, it was later revealed that the creature was actually a deformed carp. An expert from the Fish Institute stated that while the deformity of this fish could be caused by embryonic damage or lack of oxygen, such deformities are not uncommon in fish. This is a concern, as overcrowding in fish farms can lead to oxygen deprivation, water pollution, disease spread, and numerous other issues. Typically, deformities in fish can be seen in the form of abnormal body shape or size, and asymmetric growth. Additionally, some fish can be born with missing or deformed fins, eyes, or other body parts.
Matilda the cat has alien eyes and looks like she's not from this planet. But this is true, as Matilda has a genetic eye defect, which causes her eyes to be extra enlarged. However, she was not born with gigantic eyes. When her owner picked her up from the shelter, she had normal-sized eyes. Over time, she began to get larger and larger eyes, and after many years, she lost her sight completely. It was decided that an operation was necessary, and finally, it was successful, because today the cat still lives happily together with her owners. When Turbo Roo the Chihuahua was born, he was unfortunately missing his front legs. As a result, the dog had to hop around at first. When he was 4 weeks old, his owners gave him up because they could no longer care for him. Instead, a veterinary assistant named Ashley Looper took him in. Ashley, in fact, was already familiar with how difficult it can be to care for a disabled dog. She managed to raise money to help the little dog live an easier life. In fact, she managed to raise more than $3,500. A designer offered to make a cart for the doggy, along with some awesome green wheels. Now the dog walks around in style and plays just like any other dog, only she has a set of cool wheels to help him move.
Meet a dog named Wosty. Wosty was a black Labrador retriever with a skin condition called vitiligo. In Wosty's case, it caused large white patches around both eyes, giving him a unique and striking appearance. Despite his unusual looks, he was beloved by his family, who affectionately called him their white-eyed dog. However, the dog wasn't born with white patches. They started to grow when he was a few years old. Since then, the patches continued to spread and become more prominent, adding to his charming personality. His distinctive appearance also made him a local celebrity in his hometown of Canby, Oregon. In addition to his looks, the dog was known for his gentle temperament, playful personality, and his ability to uplift people's moods. He was also an ambassador for the values of acceptance, diversity, and compassion, showing that even dogs with unique appearances could bring joy and love into people's lives. Do you have a unique pet? Let us know in those comments. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more videos we've made, click one on the screen or take a look at the channel. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.